You mix two substances together, how do you know a chemical reaction has occurred? Well, first of all, if you see a chemical equation, we have a chemical reaction. But there are signs that you can observe. The following 6 signs are signs that a chemical reaction may have happened. If you see these, a chemical reaction probably occurred, but not always. So you may feel the beaker and you may feel heat coming off. Or you may see light. There could also be a color change, a precipitate forming, gas formation, which looks like bubbles coming out of liquid, or you might smell an odor. We're going to go through these 6 changes in the next few slides. First 2 signs of a chemical reaction is heat and light. If you run a reaction in a beaker and you feel it, you may feel heat coming off. That's an exothermic reaction. Heat is leaving the reaction. Or you actually may feel it get cold. That's an endothermic reaction and is pulling heat out of your hand. For light, a perfect example is fireworks. When there is a combustion reaction, which is burning or exploding, usually you see light, like in this example, the fireworks. The other 2 signs of a chemical reaction or a chemical change is a color change and a precipitate. So when we see a color change, that is an indication that a chemical reaction may have occurred when we mix 2 substances. When we see a precipitate, which is that solid that comes out of a solution, there's almost always a color change, and on the right you can see a color change there. But first I want you to notice the reaction I have written on the bottom. And what we have is extra subscripts added on with letters, and those are state symbols. AQ means it is dissolved in water. Okay, and then what we have here is an S for solid, and that is our solid precipitate. It also makes another product that is dissolved in water, AQ, aqueous as well. Our precipitates are always products, so when you want to find the precipitate, look on the product side of the reaction, and here we have lead iodide. When you watch this video, I want you to notice that the potassium nitrate and the the lead nitrate and the potassium iodide that are our reactants are both clear. So then they form this beautiful yellow lead iodide precipitate solid, which is our product. In our last 2 signs of a chemical reaction, you may see gas formation, which looks like bubbles. So when we take 2 aqueous reactants and we react them, we may form a gas which comes out of that liquid like bubbles, and sometimes those bubbles might smell. That would be an odor, but not always.